the only reason you can, so follow me just for a second, everybody, because this isn't just her. We all have versions of this, right? How many get really stressed on a regular basis, right? Okay. So what's interesting is what causes stress today is really not a saber-toothed tiger. It's really not the dangers that we make in our head. It's all stuff we make up. It's our thoughts. Our thoughts are the source of stress. You think one thought, remember I said the other day, you don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on. So right now, if I want to sit down and go, oh my God, all over the world, there's war in Ukraine, there's war in Israel, people are being killed on both sides, it's so horrific, where our own soldiers are being attacked, oh my God, it could be World War III, oh, there could be a nuclear peace, oh, China's like this, oh, inflation is here. That's called emotional stacking. When you stack one problem on another, on another, on another, it'll push you through a threshold where your biochemistry changes, and it's extremely hard to get back. Okay? Does that make sense? So what I learned years ago, I remember I had an experience where someone did something that was, I won't bore you with the details, it was so unjust, it was so messed up, it was a business partner I had, he tried to screw me over in a terrible way, and even didn't try to blame me for what he did. It was terrible. And I was on my way to doing one of my favorite seminars, Date with Destiny, and I was in a brand new car that someone had given me as a gift, a very expensive car, a Bentley convertible. I was like a business partner on the other business, said, you've done so much for me. He literally gave me a brand new $400,000 car, and I'm driving along the coast. It's beautiful on my way to my favorite seminar, and all I was so stressed out and so angry about what this guy's had done and what it's going to mean and what's going to go on. Where was all my stress coming from? What I was focusing on. If I just stopped for a moment and looked at the ocean or took a breath or thought about what I'm about to get to do to serve these people in Date with Destiny, that'd be great. But I couldn't even do it. And I know how to change myself because I'd stack so many upsets. Because have you ever noticed, how many have done this? When you really get upset with somebody and then suddenly you remember everything they've ever done that's upset you? Make some noise if you know what I'm talking about, right? So it's like once you get in that state, you end up having a really shitty story, and then you can't find the strategy to turn things around because you're so overwhelmed. And that's what's happening to you, is stacking, or what I call emotional flooding. So when I almost got to the seminar, I was like, man, I got to get my shit together here. And I know one way to do it, I'll show you in a moment, is by a radical change in my body. But I thought, I don't feel like doing that, because I feel like, if I just get over it, it'll happen again. And that belief that if I let it go, it'll just happen again, made me stay in a crappy place. Now, in that place, I'm not going to serve you, me, my family, or anyone else. So I thought, how did I get to this place where I'm so frustrated, so overwhelmed, so stressed out? And the way I did it was I realized I flooded myself with every negative thing that could possibly happen. I saw it, I felt it, I experienced it in my body, and my entire biochemistry changed. So I reverse engineered it. And I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. If that's how I got myself in this lousy place, and by the way, I did a little research. I found this out later on. If you allow yourself to be really angry or really stressed for 4 minutes, if you don't do something radical to change it, you will experience a reduction in your immune system for up to 4 hours. So you got a major reason for your health to do this, much less your emotional health, much less everything else. But I found something interesting. If I can get you to stack all the good, you will also feel incredible unconsciously for several hours. So I call it emotional flood, and we're going to do it today. I didn't know that's what your need was, but I'm going to demonstrate it today at the end of our session so you'll experience it. But in essence, here's what it is. I said to myself, okay, let me pick. It doesn't even have to relate to this guy because it won't work with him. Let me just think about my life. What am I grateful for? What else am I grateful for? And then what am I proud of? What do I love? Who do I love? Who loves me? And I started stacking good thing after good thing. And I didn't think about them intellectually, okay? Laura, I'm talking about imagining myself in the moment when this beautiful thing happened with this loved one of mine, and I'm so grateful, and I see it and feel it in my body. And I did that for just 5 minutes of those. 5 minutes of stacking the good. And I was vibrating. It was unbelievable. I mean, I was like so freaking happy, and it was like, I was so unhappy for so long, couldn't get out of it because there was just too much stacking. So I could unstack, I could make fun of it, tease it. I've learned to do that also. But if all you do is stack the good, now that's why every single morning I have a ritual, and I do it for just 10 minutes. And it's this way of, I change my breathing and I do 3 things. I focus on 3 things in my life that I could be grateful for. Usually I pick one that's small so I don't have to have big things. So it could be the wind on my face, It can be the smile of my daughter. It can be a breakthrough I helped somebody have the day before and something. But I see it, feel it, experience it. And the reason I do that, a minute each for 3 minutes, 1 minute for each of them, and fully feel it, is because gratitude destroys the two emotions that are messing you up, which are anger and fear. Those are the two things. When you say you're stressed, you have anger and fear. Am I right or wrong?